Good evening, folks. Welcome to Debate the News on this Friday evening. Lots of stuff to speak about. Wow. I was in the room today, and guys, they were doing the Shannon Sharp stuff. I'm Shannon Sharped out. I am. I'm Shannon Sharped out. But we were speaking about that today, and so there's so much more to speak about. We got Donald Trump right now. He's over in the Vatican, and he is meeting with the Pope. All right. Well, excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. He's attending the Pope funeral. I guess he is meeting with the Pope, right? So he's attending the Pope funeral, and that which is starts at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So him, and Melania flew over there. So we're gonna jump into that. We're gonna delve into that because he said a lot of different things today. So we're gonna open this up a little differently. We're gonna do some datelines. Let's get those out the way, and then after we move on from our datelines, we're gonna jump into a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, but I definitely want to leave it open because I want to make sure that Donald Trump, man, he is the gift that keep giving, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had it to do it all over again, I think I would be selfish and say elect Donald Trump. Not for his policies, not for his policies, but when you're in this journalism and citizen journalism and podcasting and everything else, Donald Trump is going to give you some content every damn day. Every damn day you can count on him for that content. So absolutely, that's just me being a bit selfish there. But let's get this thing going. Chat, Christy Chatham, are you here? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do a dateline. You have a dateline for us?
America's balance of power. Public concern over Trump's tariff plan grows, with 64% fearing inflation, even as the White House defends it as a blow against Chinese dominance. Breaking overnight, the FBI arrests Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan for obstruction, charging her with helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest, fueling fierce debate over judicial activism. In a rare reversal, the Trump administration rescinds its decision to terminate international student visas, allowing thousands to remain in the U.S., drawing praise from universities and criticism from immigration hardliners. Former Congressman George Santos is sentenced to more than 7 years in prison for fraud and identity theft, capping off one of the wildest scandals in recent political history. The Justice Department sparks outrage after rescinding its ban on seizing journalists' records in leak investigations, a move critics call a major rollback of press freedom protections. Meanwhile, President Trump joins world leaders in Rome for the funeral of Pope Francis, marking a somber moment on the world stage. Diplomatic tensions escalate as U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff holds emergency talks with Vladimir Putin in Moscow, even as new Russian airstrikes pound Kiev. That is today's Dateline, JB. Back over to you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, chat. Appreciate that dateline. As always, you come through in the clutch, guys. And I want to say thank you to chat once again. Once again, folks, we are definitely. Oh, yeah, guys, you know what? One check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, so once again, I'm having some little audio things going on here, but hey, it is what it. There we go. There we go. All right, so all right, guys, chat. Let me connect. I actually had the wrong thing set up there, but hey, real quick, here you go, chat. I want to give you the air horn.
Thank you. Where my air horns at? Thank you.
Yeah, right. So, guys, yeah, you have the air horns. So, guys, so with that being said, what I want to do is, I actually want to, go right into Laura. Laura, are you here, Laura? Laura,
Here, I am here. Can you hear me?
absolutely, I can hear you, Laura. I want you to give a
Yeah.
economic dateline. You have that for us, Laura?
Yes, and line is
Yeah, Laura, you sound
as
no, Laura, you sound horrible. Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
I sound horrible.
yeah, your audio is like
Hold on,
really,
let me go to
yeah,
Jesus. Hold on.
yeah.
That
Hey,
sucks.
guys, listen to me. If you guys are gonna come and do
Hold on a minute.
datelines, you guys cannot have subsidized audio. I mean, Wi-Fi. You guys can't get that
Hey,
subsidized. You
we
guys
got.
got it. Yeah, but go ahead.
It's not subsidized audio. It's the it's orange. It's I'm going to 5G. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're loud
How's
and clear.
that?
Let's go. Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So it's a mixed bag of tricks, right? This week, this is just reality of what's going on. We've got on the strength column and the challenge column balanced economic outlook. We have wage growth outpacing inflation, but we have a persistent potential inflation pressure given the tariffs. Although we did have a potential 90-day pause, even going into China, so that was a big win for the week for many of us that do business in China. We have a resilient labor market, although we have a massive challenge with commercial real estate. There's a significant stress in the commercial real estate arena. We have strong tech sector earnings, but we have a massive challenge with weak small cap and broader equity participation. What that means is the performance of the Russell 2000, the performance of the S&P 500 and some of the indices without the Magnificent Seven, the tech sector, are flat, right? So that is a problem with Main Street. So tech sector might be doing great, $80 billion invested year to date. We're just entering May in AI. At some point, that investment has to got to generate an ROI. So just a red flag on that. We've got to really look at that. We have growing, as I mentioned, growing AI investment, but we have a slowing consumer spend. We're gonna have to really look at that. We've got pressure in housing. We've got pressure in food regarding inflation. We've got pressure in the automobile industry. So we're really just gonna have to look at that as we go into the summer. One of the good things that happened going into the summer is Trump listened to some of his advisors. He took some of that pressure off. It looks like there's going to be a 90-day pause, even all the way over to China, which is going to be a huge help for the summertime. And people can enjoy that time off with their kids and families going on vacation. So momentum is real, but so are the cracks in the system. We've got to keep it focused. We've got good leaders, we hope, but they've got to stay agile, cautious, and opportunity focused. And we need to ensure that Trump continues to listen to the advisors around him. I would say this week I would give the Trump administration a win for the week, but I would say that the tech sector is clouding the market, and we really need to make sure everybody understands that it's not all about the Magnificent Seven or investment in AI. That's not going to carry the economy in the long run. Back to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, let's just jump right into this first and foremost. Before we get into the topic, I want to acknowledge Stephanie. Stephanie, she's been here all day long, and holding the room open. So I want to acknowledge Stephanie. She's been here the whole entire day, the entirety of the day. So shout out to you, Stephanie. I don't know if you're nearby, but I just wanted to acknowledge you. So, let's start off with before we jump into our topic. Um, the NFL draft is today. All right. And one of the things that people brought up was, and I got to call it out, the fact that Donald Trump actually spoke about, I think, Shador Sanders, the quarterback out of Colorado, um, has not been drafted. Hasn't been drafted. Wasn't drafted in the first round. All right. And the president spoke to that. And the president spoke and said that Shador should have been drafted, and he should be drafted right away. And and he spoke to that. And right now we're heading into the third round, and he hasn't been drafted yet. All right. Just want to know your thoughts on that real quick, guys. I don't want to stay on this very long, 5 minutes or so. because it seemed to be a very hot topic too. I don't know if he's still available. I don't know if your wife came and took your hall pass away. I don't know who's here, but there's a lot of talk about this before. The, yeah, your Wi-Fi. She took the Wi-Fi away. She did it even worse. She took the Wi-Fi away from you. What did he say? Did anyone hear what he said?
I said, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay, yeah. So two guys, but besides two big guys, he's never here, guys. In the evening because he has prior obligations. So domestic obligations, but he is the curator and the host of Debate the News Local, where we do a local news show and we just talk about all local stuff, not the world politics and all the other stuff, the major stuff we speak about here. We talk about he speaks about what? You want to tell him about the show before we get started?
Yeah, we mostly talk about local stories and social media articles and just keep it light, have a good time, and let our hair down before the big show every night. 6 to 8 every day.
Let your hair down. All right. I don't have any hair to let down,
Me either.
unfortunately.
Me either.
But two, I'm gonna have you respond. I want Divine Davies, school teacher out of Brooklyn, in the house. Speak first. Divine, what are your thoughts about Donald Trump speaking on this Shador Sanders situation? How do you feel about it?
I think it's an overreach. There's bigger problems in the world, but at the same time, I also think he's trying to, in some kind of strange way, extend an olive branch because we hear the talking points. Some people believe uh, he shows bias tendencies. We look at who's being targeted when it comes to deportations. I mean, I think I read the other day, even the Mexican president said that there's bias in who he's going after when it's time to send people out of the country. But then he turn around and he'll say things like, well, we need these people for the hospitality and the agricultural. I mean, he's all over the place. He really is all over the place. I don't know if he's just being facetious. We know he has this kind of love hate relationship with the NFL. This man tried to start a league. He tried to buy a team. He tried to do a lot of things. So for him to go at NFL owners who some of them I'm sure are his buddies, right? He's looking out for them when it comes to taxes and things of that nature. So I just think he's really he's out of line. Maybe he should have waited. Why not tweet about something that's going to benefit all Americans? Sports are cool, it's entertainment, but we don't need our president really chiming in on the NFL draft. So I'll end with that.
Oh wow! Okay, I was expecting something different from you. Anyone else wants to jump in? Anyone else has a different perspective before we move on? Because as I said, say, and I'll come to you too. We're gonna do this really, really quickly. Anyone else want to chime in on this? Go ahead, Sir Jude. Sir Jude going twice. All right. So Jude had his hands up. Anyone else? All right. So you want to go ahead and say what you have to say too about this situation because I heard you speaking about it and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I definitely think it's an overreach like Divine. I'm not worried about him having more important things to do. I just don't feel it's correct to put your finger on the scale as the president. I mean, if you had a problem with him doing the infomercial for Tesla, you should definitely have a problem with this also. So I don't think it's an olive branch. I don't think he's doing it for the culture. I think him and Dion are buddies. And in my opinion, I think Dion called in a favor because they're embarrassed. Shador was supposed to go in the first round. At one point, they had him projected going like top five. And it's almost a third round and he hadn't been picked. So I think they're panicking. And he called in a favor and it's not working right now. So yeah, I think it's overreach. And the president should never pick winners or losers.
Wow, guys, I don't really have anything to add to that. We had a whole bunch of people in here earlier, and once again, that actually believed that it was a good thing. Anyone believes it's a good thing that Donald Trump and that they're glad Donald Trump spoke up? Anyone? I guess that was before the draft began, and we're in the third round now, and he hasn't been picked. essentially. And so I guess a lot of people quiet. I'm not going to add much to that. Only thing I would add to what you guys said is if you didn't like when he spoke out against Kaepernick, okay, you shouldn't like when he speaks out for uh, when he speaks out for Shador Sanders. Okay, Luis Estrella, are you there, Luis? Luis Estrella, the host of. Okay, he's not available. All right, so yeah, but yeah, if you this guy, if you had a problem with him speaking out against Colin Kaepernick, you should have a problem with him speaking up for Shador Sanders. That's all. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave it right there. So I'm definitely not going to jump into that and go any further with that. So just wanted to get that out of the way because it was pertinent. It's news is happening now and as we speak, and so I wanted to address that real quick. All right, one second. And the people on CH, if you guys are there, Leslie's in the goo. Can you guys bring Leslie back up? I don't know what happened there, folks. Let's make sure that real is back up there. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep this thing moving. So, we did speak about Sanders, and I am guys. Like I said, I'm in the camp. Donald Trump, please just stay out of it. So, let's get this thing going because there's other things I want to talk about, guys. A judge, a federal judge, was arrested. Not excuse me, a federal judge, a county circuit judge was arrested today in Wisconsin and charged with two felonies: obstruction of, I guess, immigration apprehension. But she was arrested, guys. I at this point in time, I don't know what to say. I'm a bit confounded here. Chat, you read this as well, right? In your Dateline, correct?
I did.
All
She's out
right.
of Wisconsin.
Yeah. Is it Milwaukee or Madison? So anyway, I was asking Madison or Wisconsin. Here, you know what? I'll pull it up myself. Just trying to figure out which circuit was she out of. I believe it was out of Milwaukee. All right. So with that being said, guys, what do you guys think about the Trump administration arresting, the DOJ arresting judges? I mean, because it seems that he hasn't done that. He won't try with a federal judge. He tried it with this judge to send a message. I think they're trying to send messages to judges, and that once again, a lot of people are already fearful. But to arrest a judge and chat, can you give some more information on that? What happened? What took place on that particular case?
Okay. Yes, I can unmute now. So it says that today the FBI arrested. It was in Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan, and they said that she intentionally misdirected federal agents away from a migrant who was in the U.S. illegally and was set to be arrested. Um, it said that Eduardo Flores Ruiz was later arrested and is currently being detained. But she was arrested at 8 a.m. this morning at the courthouse where she worked, and she was charged with 2 counts of obstruction and released from detention after making an initial appearance in federal court. Excuse me. So supposedly the migrant in question, Flores Ruiz, had his first arrest in 2013, and had a current arrest warrant for deportation. It was issued by ICE, and so he was scheduled to appear before Dugan for that criminal court case. The FBI agent said in a statement that arrest team members reported that while waiting outside of the courtroom, a woman approached and took photos of arrest team members. A courtroom deputy told the FBI agent that the woman who took the photos of the arrest team showed the pictures to Judge Dugan while she was on the bench in her courtroom. And Dugan became visibly angry and commented that the situation was absurd, left the bench, and entered the chambers. Judge Dugan then approached the arrest team with another judge in the public hallway. Witnesses uniformly reported that Judge Dugan was visibly upset and had a confrontational, angry demeanor. Dugan, according to witnesses, told the arrest team to go to the chief judge's office to speak with them about the permissibility of making the arrest inside the courthouse and looked around the hallway near her courtroom to seek out other law enforcement officers. One agent who Dugan did not recognize as part of the team remained in the hallway. Dugan's Flores Ruiz I'm sorry. After that, the special agent said multiple witnesses in Dugan's courtroom saw her say, "Wait, come with me," to Flores Ruiz as he headed toward the public courtroom exit where the officers were waiting. Judge Dugan then escorted Flores Ruiz and his counsel out of the courtroom through the jury door, which leads to a non public area of the courthouse. The agents later spotted Flores Ruiz looking around the hallway in the courthouse and followed him out of the courthouse, where a foot chase ensued and he was arrested. So that's what happened.
All right. Once again, folks, I don't know. This, when you have sanctuary cities and all this other stuff, guys, this has never taken place. And I have a problem with it. I have a problem with it because my problem with it is to see these agents carrying out these orders. Why are these agents carrying out these orders? Why aren't these agents not carrying out these orders? Why are these agents, because if they didn't carry them out previously, why are they carrying them out now? What I don't know. To arrest a judge, uh, I don't know. I think this, guys, this is pretty much saying that no one is safe. We have judges now being arrested. We have a senator, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, saying that she no longer feels safe to speak out. And we have others that's no longer safe. I feel that they're safe to speak out. Does anyone have a problem with this judge being arrested? Does anyone have a problem with the judge? That is my question. I want to make sure if you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
jump
so
in.
Luis,
Go ahead,
um,
Louise.
I absolutely have a problem with it. I feel like this is a shakedown to erode the judicial system as a whole. Um, this is another scare tactic, right? So they come after the students, they come after they come after migrants, they come after judges. Um, Essentially, he's saying that nobody's safe.
I agree. I agree, Luis. I certainly agree. No one is safe. No, it certainly doesn't feel like anyone's safe. Ravi, we have you here. We have Diana here. I know you guys are a Trump favorite. We have Caleb here. You guys have anything you want to add to this? Because I'm just what we're doing right now is I'm trying to figure out, in terms of how do you guys feel about a judge being arrested?
Correction, I am America favored. So that's the first part. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm still processing the shock. So I have not been paying attention in the last, what, this must have happened 24 hours ago. And so I looked at it from when you put the title. I'm really in real time processing the shock from the whole story. The little that I've been able to gather, I want to know, did she really have him go through like a back door to evade an executive order? There's a lot of really big deals happening in in this entire matter, just this one that we could pick apart, because I don't remember judges being arrested or having to go through something like this in the courthouse. And to answer your question, I think that it's because of the Trump administration that certain things are being enforced. I mean, speaking of Ravi, and he can go after me, um, I remember in Ravi's own situation where it was almost expected when he shared his experience of being pulled over near the border and being asked for documentation. The room erupted as if there was some type of profiling of him, yet there are things that need to be enforced and followed. We talked about speeding tickets, all this stuff. So I just feel that if we have laws, they should be enforced. But the more time I spend in political rooms, the more it really does seem, as somebody like me who's independent and tries to stay neutral, it really depends on the party to execute these orders. I'm not surprised that she was arrested. In fact, I think we should find out if she really let someone go through the back door. And now then from there, let's say she did. My heart goes out to her because she's a judge. And if she really feels like these things are ruining the lives of American people, residents are American people, then I feel really bad for all the judges. This is a big deal. I'm glad that this is tonight's topic.
Let me just say this, Diana, and I appreciate you. And that's one thing about Diana. You keep it real, whether you agree or whether I agree or disagree. But you're going to speak about how you really feel about something. If you feel it's horrible, you're going to say it's horrible. If you feel it's decent, you're going to say it's decent. Guys, let me just say this: the judge did not do anything wrong. There's no law that says that she has to let the person walk out of the front door. There's no law that says you have to walk out of the front door of a courtroom. None. So it's that there was no obstruction there. There was no obstruction there, and she will win this. Okay, she will win this. She will eventually win this case. But in the meantime, the shock of it all, that a judge was arrested and charged with two felonies, and she's an attorney, and she has attorney friends, and she's going to be she's going hell. She's going to get an appointment in the next administration. She's going to get an appointment in the next administration because, guys, once again, our immigration laws have to be followed, but due process have to be followed as well. All right. So, with that being said, I applaud this judge. I applaud this judge. I know some of you guys may feel different, and you know, and for the people that said that she um, helped someone escape custody, he wasn't in custody. He wasn't in custody, folks. All right. So when you start saying, "Oh, in custody," no, he was not in custody. All right. He was in custody once they get him. All right. Listen to me, folks. I'm gonna tell you something. Everyone that's cheering this on, I get it. You guys are entitled to do so. But what I will say is this right here, folks, is that you guys did like this judge that's fighting for you. This is the judge you want hearing your case. Okay, this is the judge you want. You know, whether you're a defendant or plaintiff, this is the judge you want hearing you're dealing with it. If you're in civil court, if you're in the criminal court, this is the judge because she's going to be fair. She has a human side to her. All right, and you want our judges to be imperfect, but you want them to not look at you and process you as just, I don't know, a number, a case number, a file number. So I applaud this judge. So anyone, like I said, guys,
Yeah,
feel free to jump
Jonathan,
in.
I want to
Let's go.
chime in really quick. Do you mind if I wake it up a little bit?
Let's wake it up. Wake it up. Yeah, Vashon,
Okay.
someone needs to wake this shit up. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to be blatantly honest, and I just have to we're just and not dance around what's happening. I mean, we're watching this stuff happen right before our eyes, and it's just literally unbelievable. This is a message that the power is with the executive branch and not with the judicial branch. Okay, that's just the bottom line. These are antics and scare tactics and getting everyone in line. And I hate to bring this up. I hate to be the one to bring it up, but I gotta compare it to when during Nazi Germany, when there was an act that was passed that reinforced the German civil code, that basically what they did is they removed any judges that were deemed non-compliant. So they retired any judges or judicial officials who would not intervene in cases and rule in favor of the Nazis. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it again. He's taken a page out of that playbook. And this is what we're watching. We're just seeing the beginning of it. But let's just watch as it continues to unfold. This is a message loud and clear, is get in line or get removed, and even worse, get arrested.
I agree.
And,
Go ahead.
Jonathan,
Davy,
this is Ravi.
I
So
see
sorry.
somebody with
Oh,
I see my friend Veneese with hands up. I don't know if she want to
Yeah,
say
let's
something.
let's go. Yeah. Of course, guys. Caleb, because Caleb's a guy, man. Caleb's been here for a while. Caleb calls your name. You gotta go. Go ahead, Bernice. Let's go.
I just want to let you know, first of all, with the way the courthouse works, when there is a chief judge, the chief judge is the one who basically rules the courthouse. And so we don't know where she was taking this person and his attorney. They could have been just waiting for the chief judge to make a decision and a determination as to what is to happen to this particular individual. So that's the first thing. So it's really upsetting for me to hear that this happened. It is intimidation. And they had the nerve, and I will say this, the nerve to talk about enforcing the law when they have done nothing but shown a total disregard for the law. So that's I'm gonna end it with that because I can go on and on and on, but um I will let everyone else speak.
Uh,
Jonathan,
let me just say this right here. She let them out. They left the building and they were chased down. Uh, once they left the building. So but once again, there's no law that says that you have to let someone out of the front door, or you have to walk someone to custody and turn them over. There's no law that says that. All right, there's none whatsoever, and that's where I think you know they're saying obstruction. If the rule says that you can't come in the courtroom and arrest someone, and she didn't let them in, that's not obstruction. Letting them out the back door is not obstruction. It is their job to get them. That's their job. I don't see them. I don't see them winning on this at all. I would love. I think Terry's going to be here shortly. I definitely want to find out about that. But go ahead, Jonathan, Ravi. You said Jonathan, right?
yes, Jonathan. So there was a tweet from Kash Patel, FBI director. He clearly said, "We believe Judge Dukin intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse." So, like, I mean, she did kind of like I mean, lied to the agents. So I'm guess so. Basically, Trump administration is saying like nobody is above the law. Like it doesn't matter if you're a cop, if you're a regular citizen, if you're a judge, do not make the mistake. Follow the law. So what is wrong in that? I don't see anything wrong in that at all. Like if she's a judge, she knows the rules. So why did she break them? Why did she lie to the FBI agent? I mean, that's how I see it.
She never lied to the FBI agent. They never said that.
But that's what they're saying online, Jonathan. They're saying that she
That's
what if
coming
you
from
Google it
FBI
and CNN
director
everywhere. Yeah.
directly. It's on his tweet, Cash Patel. Like he tweeted directly the
We
exact
don't
words.
believe what that man said.
Yeah, but I
Anybody
think
else say it?
Right, Chad. But like,
so
so we're
Chet, I
gonna
think that's
believe
Now,
the
now,
what?
you
Like,
guys are starting to sound conspiratorial over there on your
so
side.
so
so
if you're not gonna believe the FBI director, then you're gonna believe the judge, right? Like, I mean, so how do we know the judge is not lying? Like, I mean,
yeah,
where does it end? Like,
I think that's the point, right? I think that's what's happening here, Jonathan, is that this is gonna become a he said, she said kind of thing. Because they're making it seem like the judge told them to wait out in the hallway. And then she took him through the jury door.
That's
Right?
not
When she's at the
lying.
front.
That's not lying. If she told them to wait until the hallway, she didn't say
Yeah,
wait in the hallway. I'm gonna bring them. Even if she said that, she's not obligated to bring them. But if she told them to wait in the hallway, that's
yeah,
not lying.
but then like so the way I would put it to you is like if police show up to your house as a black man and they say where's this person and you take them out the back door, you know you fucking around. They're about to find out, right? And
No,
I think
no,
that's
no,
that's that's how I see it, bro. If they show up to your house, ask for your brother, you let him out the back door. You
no,
you
no,
you
no,
fucking around.
no,
you
no.
said you said judge told him to wait in the hallway, right? Then why did the FBI agents have to chase the person down? Like if he's waiting, I don't think they need to chase him down.
I think I have a reason
well,
why. So this person's
that's the
name,
issue.
give me 1 second, Sir Jude. His name is Eduardo Flores Ruiz. Ruiz, I'm so sorry. And he's a 30-year-old Mexican national and undocumented immigrant, right? So he faced 3 misdemeanor counts of battery, domestic abuse, and in Milwaukee. And so that is as recent as March 12th, 2025, where he allegedly struck another person 30 times after a dispute over loud music. He was previously deported from the US in January 2013 via Arizona. Federal authorities identified him as illegally present in the US after his March 2025 arrest using a biometric fingerprint comparison. So that is Mr. Eduardo Flores Ruiz. And on April 18th, Ruiz was scheduled for a pretrial conference in Duggan's courtroom, which led to the events resulting in Duggan's arrest. That is who we are speaking of. Thank you. Back to you.
I'm
So let
confused.
me
Wait,
Yeah.
let me read it. Let me read again what
well,
happened. So the judge learned that ICE officers, excuse me, were present in court to arrest Flores Ruiz. When she found out, she became visibly angry and said the situation was absurd before leaving the bench and entering her chambers. This is according to the complaint, which cited witnesses who spoke to the FBI. Dugan and another unidentified judge then allegedly approached the arrest team in the public hallway, according to the complaint. She was visibly upset and had a confrontational, angry demeanor and asked one of the officers whether they were present for a court appearance. When the officer replied they were there to make an arrest, the complaint alleges Judge Dugan asked if they had a judicial warrant, to which the officer responded, "No, I have an administrative warrant." Multiple witnesses cited in the complaint later allegedly said Judge Dugan returned to her courtroom after directing members of the arrest team to the office of the court's chief judge. The court quote, the courtroom deputy then saw Judge Dugan get up and heard Judge Dugan say something like, "Wait, come with me." Quote, despite having been advised of the administrative warrant for the arrest of Flores Ruiz, Judge Dugan then escorted Flores Ruiz and his counsel out of the courtroom through the jury door, which leads to a non-public area of the courthouse, end quote. Quote, so she continues with her docket, finishes her docket. 2 victims sit in court all morning long waiting, and at the end, the prosecutors say, "What happened? Why didn't the case get called?" Bondi said. A DEA agent saw Flores Ruiz and his attorney in the public hallway of the courthouse, and he appeared to be making efforts to evade arrest, the complaint says. After he was encountered by FBI and DEA agents outside of the building, Flores Ruiz turned around and sprinted down the street before he was ultimately apprehended. I can stop there.
Yeah, that's guys. That's a nothing burger. They're trying to send out to the public that yeah, you can't avoid them. And like Vashon said, it's one of those things. Patriot Rob, what's up, Patriot Rob? How's it going, Rob? How do you feel about that judge being arrested, Rob? Are you there?
oh, I'm here.
Yeah. How do you feel about the judge being arrested?
Good. It's about time. We need more of them arrested.
No, we need more judges arrested. Okay, why do we need more judges arrested? Just out of curiosity.
Why,
Yeah,
Jonathan?
yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir.
can't. You can't be somebody who professes to uphold the law while breaking it and harboring illegal immigrants.
Okay.
Plain
So,
and simple. Plain and
okay.
simple. I don't care how anybody thinks about illegals. You came here illegally. You need to be deported out of our country. And if you're somebody that's facilitating that, then you need to be arrested. It is the law. End of story. I don't care how anybody feels about this. Emotions are irrelevant.
Okay. I know. I agree. I agree. Hold on.
Can I come
But
in here?
one second. This is Jude. because you used some words. You said harboring. Okay, she didn't harbor anyone. That person was in her courtroom. Okay, and the person was in her courtroom, and so she got him out of the courtroom. Harboring them would be keeping them in the courtroom. All right, and not letting them go. So she certainly didn't harbor them. All right, and she did not, and she let him out the back into the hallway in the court, and the DEA agent saw them in the hallway talking in the hallway. So they were in the
Oh, I
hallway.
thought you were talking about the other judge that got arrested.
Oh, you talking about the other judge with the illegals?
That
I
was
don't think she got arrested.
harboring the illegals
New Mex,
in
yeah,
his garage. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
New
thought
Did
you were
they
talking
Mexico.
about him.
did they get arrested? I don't think
Yes,
that
Yeah,
they
judge
he
was
got
did.
arrested.
arrested. I
Oh,
think he
really?
did get arrested.
I got to look that one up. Because I don't think
Yeah, look
that.
it up. I think there was because there was from last I read that there was two judges arrested for this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were handcuffed in the news when they were filming it.
What were
She,
they?
she's
Okay.
not a current
Both
judge,
of
so
them.
she's an ex-judge, and they arrested both of them, the husband and the wife, and they found the pictures of beheaded people on his phone or something like that. Man, it's crazy.
All right. So you go
Sergio
ahead.
and his up. Sergio want to speak.
Sir Jude.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that amazes me here is that people do not understand what is at stake here. And this is a story about defense of due process.
I can't
There
hear a
is a
thing
way
he's
that these
saying.
things are supposed to happen.
Sir Jude, you got to fix your
There
mic.
is a way that this, okay. Let me see. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go on. Let's try it.
Can you? All right. You see, the point that we are missing here is that the attack on due process that is involved in this case. There is a procedure by which this thing happens. And it becoming clearer and clearer that people like Patriot Rob, but I give you due difference because you're talking about a different case. But people on the right seems to um, pander the idea of state rights until it comes to what Donald Trump and his administration wants. Then state rights goes out of the window. The way that this thing's supposed to happen is when you want somebody from the court, you follow the law. You put a detainer on them. That's the way it's supposed to happen. When you put a detainer, then you have a right to get that person. But you can't just come to an open court just because you heard that that person is in court and come to grab that person when that court, the state court, have exercised jurisdiction over that particular
Do you live
person.
in America?
There
Do you
is
know
what
anything about our laws here? Because if you don't, then
I will teach you. I will teach
you
you.
don't.
I will just
Illegals
listen. Let me teach you your
are
law.
not afforded the same
Just
protection under
listen.
the
Listen.
Let him
Illegals are not
land.
afforded
Let
the
him
same
land. Let
protection
him
Sir,
under
land.
the Constitution that
sir,
American
sir,
citizens are. I don't care
let me
what you
finish.
say. You're not American.
Sir,
You have no
Let
voice
him
here. Be
land, Rob.
quiet.
sir,
Let
How
him
do you
land.
know he's not
let me
American?
Exactly.
finish, Ralph.
And
This
listen to his
man.
That's
Oh,
voice.
you
that's
just
He
put it
offensive.
wasn't
in
born
People
and
order.
don't
raised
have to
here.
sound like you to be American. I
Please,
don't like when y'all
yeah.
do that.
Just because he has an accent.
Those are
Just
those
because he has an
ignorants
accent, that doesn't
that
mean
measure
he's not
intelligence based
American,
on
okay?
accent. Those are those their xenophobic
Cindy, I
ideology
dislike you
that got
very
this
much.
country where we are now. Okay, let me finish, Petro Robert.
Wow.
Sergio, you're in the matrix, huh? Like bad.
He just disappeared from the stage. How about that?
Let-
There he
so
goes.
so Petro Robert,
Sergio, you're in
the
the
thing is that
matrix.
when a judge, I come back.
Yeah, for the record, this man is a college professor, I believe. He lives here. He's been living here. He's a citizen. So let's not make
Yeah, what he's
assumptions
basing
about.
this on
Can
is
I land?
emotion.
Can I land?
No,
Let's
no,
let's
no, he's not.
not make assumptions about people because that's not cool. All right, go ahead.
Exactly.
Jonathan,
You
you are
cannot.
frozen, and that picture is scary as shit.
Ooh, let me see. Oh no, we've had worse.
Ain't
Drop a
nothing
Oh,
receipt in
scary.
the
there he
chat.
I will
goes.
send you a
That's-
Oh,
message.
okay.
Ain't nothing scarier than a smiling black man.
Nothing scarier than a smiling Jonathan. It doesn't matter whether he's black or white, just Jonathan in general.
Yeah. No, guys, listen to me. Yeah, was that last speaker? Is he from the States? The one that was just speaking?
Sergio,
Yes.
Jonathan.
Hey. No, okay, guys. Yeah, so they did arrest the
Not
two
over
new.
me.
They did arrest the two other judges. Wow, wow. And that one had the Venezuelan in his garage. Absolutely.
The
So,
Trendiagua. Yep.
yep. So listen to me. But arresting judges right now. Now that I can see, but this judge was carrying out her duty. All right, arresting her, I can't see.
By allowing an illegal to escape. No, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. She didn't allow illegal. She didn't facilitate his escape. She didn't harbor. She let him out the back door. All right. There's no
Let
law.
him. Jonathan, did you just hear yourself, bro?
Yes, she
She
let
didn't
him out the
allow him
back.
Come
to
on,
escape, but she opened
JB.
up the back door.
No, she opened up the back door of her what you call it that led to the hallways. Okay, of the what you call it of the courtroom at courthouse, and he had to walk in the courthouse and walk. He just didn't walk out front.
But
There's
how many
no there's
people
no
Did
have that
she
law.
tell
luxury though,
Jonathan? Did she tell them
Jonathan?
to wait for him outside? Like that's the question. Like, did she tell the agents to wait for him outside the court?
No, she told them that they can't, which is right. You can't come in the courtroom to facilitate the arrest.
She was angry that he didn't have a warrant, but what did she tell them? Like they're claiming that she told them, she misled them, not
Man,
that
I got a
she charged
lot of
them.
people with accents and sound like they're in favor of this shit. Hamed, I don't know. When you don't ask me to speak up for your ass, bro.
No, bro,
When they
I
get
know that I know the little backwards and forwards, but the point I'm making is like I'm not in favor of it. I'm just saying like like I said, I feel like this is a he said she said thing, right? They're claiming she misled them, right? They're not saying that she let him like she let him go. It's like she misled them, meaning she told them something and did the opposite.
Exactly.
no,
What is the reason of opening the jury's door or whatever, Jonathan? How many people get to do that? Like, I mean, when you go to the court, you don't get special, access. So she's
You don't get to
intentionally
tell a
did
judge what
that.
she does in her courtroom.
I know,
exactly.
Louis, but
It's
no, I know,
crazy.
Louis, but I mean,
Yo,
the whole reason she did
yo,
it is to avoid for him to get arrested, right? So she's helping.
Ravi.
they try to do Robbie. They tried to deport your ass last week. Okay,
Oh,
and,
I
Jesus.
know.
no, they did.
Crazy.
They
Hey,
did.
that's why I carry my
They did.
passport,
They
man. I
did. And
can't
here
deport
you
me.
are still defending this shit. It's crazy as hell.
Okay, so you want to
You
hear
got
it
to
from a
defend.
Texan? She was dead ass wrong. I'll say
Woo-hoo.
it. She
Thank you, Chad.
Thank
because
you, Chad.
Stick
Thank
up for us,
you.
please.
it discourages other people from participating, like in like what, like one side is saying it could discourage people from participating in proceedings, right? But my thing is this: why would you intervene with another judge's decision, but you want your decision, right? You want to interrupt that whole process that was already played out. They're there to execute an order from a judge, and you want to tell them to wait while you sneak him in the back. I
There
bet you there's
was
a bunch of other people that would love for a judge to sit them in the back so they can have a conversation. But how many people didn't get the opportunity to go sit in the back and talk to a judge while somebody else advocated for them? Like, that's not fair. If you do that for one, you got to do that for all, white, green, purple, immigrant or not. And that to me can lead to favoritism and other things. And that is not what law, that's not what the legal system, the judicial system is about. So she was dead ass wrong. Let that man matriculate through the criminal justice system. Let him matriculate through that system that is there for them. Let them do that. But you do not intervene. You let it happen. You can come in on the back end, but if you're going to do that for him, do that for everybody.
Wait a second,
Uh,
chat.
man.
Are you honestly saying that our judicial system doesn't show preference and deference to certain populations over others?
No, that's
Does that
my
not
point.
happen? No, but my point is, it happens on a day-to-day basis. What happens in a specific courtroom is often subjective according to whatever judge is presiding in that specific courtroom. They get to determine, they set the rules in that specific courtroom per courtroom. Do they not?
What you fail to understand, because you're actually making my point. For you to talk about fairness and justice, wouldn't that mean that you would have to go through the process? Y'all were fighting for due process 3 days ago. Now this woman is impeding through due process, and now you're on this side. Which one is it?
No, no, no,
Oh,
Chad. I think you got it wrong.
yeah, you got it
I
wrong.
know,
You
Chad,
got
I
it
I
absolutely do
respect
not
you.
wrong.
have it wrong.
Let,
There
let,
is a process.
let me tell
She
you why
was
you got it
trying to
wrong. Let me tell
impede
you why.
in the middle
No,
of
no,
the
no, no, no. You got it wrong.
process. No, I
Well,
No, you
yeah,
got it
don't.
wrong,
Chad, you do got it wrong,
Chad. Let me
Chad.
tell you why.
I don't have it wrong.
It's okay.
Let me
You'll
tell
get to
you
Only
why.
way
school,
you got it
Harvard.
Chad,
correct
All right.
is
Well, Mike, let
English.
Jude
Chad,
answer, guys.
let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Chad, where you got it wrong is that there is a principle called committee when it comes to law, which means
Can
different
you get your
jurisdictions
Wi-Fi
have to
right?
respect.
You got to start over, Sir Jude, because you
Hold on.
chopped up.
I said
What?
where you got it wrong is that there is a principle in law that is committee, it called committee, okay, which means different jurisdictions have to respect each other's jurisdiction. Okay, when you are coming into a state jurisdiction, this is a state court. There is a process. First of all, you have to announce yourself. You have to inform the authorities, the judicial authorities, that this is what you're coming to do. And one of the best ways to do that is by you putting in a detainer. Okay, once a court has exercised a personal matter jurisdiction, even a subject matter jurisdiction over a defendant or over somebody that is appearing before them, okay, that court, especially a state court, has total control. You cannot just come and use that authority, which is what these people you can't come into the court and grab somebody and take them away. That is a complete disregard of due process, a complete disregard of law. Okay, that's where you got it wrong, Chad. But I respect you though. I
I,
land.
I love you too. I need you to get your Wi-Fi right. While we talk about what
Yeah.
I got wrong,
Once again, these are sanctuary cities, okay, and they've been doing this forever.
man,
All right.
I wish somebody named. I bet you there's a man named Tyrone
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Chad, is
that
what
wish the
happened.
judge would do that for them. Is what I'm saying. This
Yeah,
is
but
crazy.
no, but what's that? What's happening here is uh you guys are saying she's dead wrong. She let him out the back door. She didn't hustle him along the side. She didn't whatever. She didn't give him bread and food and money and say go go go. Run son run. She didn't do that. Okay. She let him out the back door right into the courtroom hallway. So while they were standing out front like this right here, she let him out the back and they walked around and they were still spotted. All right. She has no obligation or requirement to make them go out of the front door at all.
He's dead
So
wrong.
Why did he flee?
yeah, he fled. That was something on him.
But
That has nothing
think
to do
about
with
it
her,
this
Hey,
Jude.
way:
JB,
they
come
were
on,
led
JB.
into a hallway. Now, I'm not saying that she told him to flee or she admonished him to flee, but he was put in a position where he could flee. She didn't even tell him to go, like, put maybe the bailiff could have done something, right? They brought him out into a public hallway. He took off. What about that is okay?
Chat, you
What
read
about
it.
that is okay?
Chat, you read
Chad.
it.
I
They
mean,
took him back
I
into
mean,
a
Like,
place
he
that
has
was
like,
in public.
this dude got more rights than I do.
Chat, you
This is
Chat,
weird.
you read it.
Let me
Chat,
jump
you
in for
read
a
it.
second.
Jonathan, I
So
think I think what
I
this
agree.
was
I
her.
agree with Chat 100%. And this is me, Rachelle. The whole reason
Girl,
she let him out of the side door was so that he can evade what was at the other door. That's literally why she did it. Otherwise, she would have let him out where they were. So she meant to obstruct their ability to nab him as soon as he walked out of her courtroom doors. She gave him the opportunity to have a running start to evade them. That's literally what she did. And I agree with Chad. I think that she was wrong for doing that. But I also do not believe that she should have been arrested either. I think that that's going too far to arrest a judge. But I think that she was being an obstructionist of what was outside of her front doors, sanctuary city or not. It is what it is. They were there to get him. And if they were lawfully able to be at the front of the doors to nab him as soon as he walked out, then I think that she should not have impeded that process by saying, go through these doors, not those doors. That's literally
What
what happened. But I also
feelings
don't believe that
are
she should have been arrested.
feelings are not laws. And I know you feel like it was wrong, but that doesn't mean it was illegal. And that's what you guys are getting wrong. I know y'all feel like it was wrong and you feel like that, but one thing is two things are true. One,
It's not
she's
about
not
feelings, it
calling
was
anybody in
obstruction.
this. She didn't. This is GA from Clubhouse, Jonathan, and she didn't
That's
call
yeah.
anybody in this room and say I did it because. We're all surmising. The second thing is nobody has brought up the fact that she literally asked, "Do you have a judicial warrant?" or an administrative warrant. And if you don't know the difference, it's no wonder you're confused about whether she did something wrong or not, because there is a huge difference
Big difference.
between the two. Huge
I know
difference.
exactly what both are.
Well, it's a huge difference between the two. And I'll land it there.
Guys, let me just say something. She didn't do anything wrong. Okay? She's not required. Once again, she's not required. Of course, anytime, Chad. You don't never have to ask for that, Chad. Um, she's not required to let someone walk out. There's no law that says you had to let people walk out the front door of your courtroom. She opened up the back door and let them walk out into the courtroom. She didn't smuggle them into a car. When they caught her, she continued to do her caseload.
She
No, no,
told
no,
the
wait. When I
aide.
finish, she continued her caseload. She didn't walk them out. She didn't try to do anything. She just let them go out the back door. That is not against the law, folks. You may not like it. I may not like it. I like actually I don't mind it. But you guys may not like it. But she. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. Frozen picture. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Guys, no, I definitely, no, I definitely. So tell your head right. I definitely think that she did the right thing, and I know she didn't do anything illegal, and I know this case will fall apart. It will fall apart.
Jonathan, what are the charges? Do you know what the charges are?
Obstruction.
What is the meaning of obstruction? Can you explain it
It says
to
obstruction by misleading the federal agent, right? So
No,
saying that
no.
she misled them, right? Which means she told them one thing and did the
She didn't
opposite.
tell. She didn't tell. She didn't tell him I was gonna.
We
I'm
don't
letting
know
him out the
that.
front door. You don't know that either. But that's what I'm
We
saying.
didn't know what.
I'm not the
Yeah,
one saying that. You are.
so the point is, yeah, but then they must have, those agents must have gone back and said something to make them want to
Don't let
arrest
ICE
her,
come in this room,
right? They can't
Hammett.
just go back and say googly goop.
God damn.
Don't let ICE come in this room
You say
because
googly goo.
I damn sure am not opening the back door for you. Okay, don't let ICE show up in this room. Okay, I'm gonna make sure your ass go
They
right out
can't
the
get me.
front
Don't
door.
worry about it.
So for me, I believe that they should not have arrested her because if I'm not mistaken, I thought that they couldn't arrest you at inside of the courthouse. They have to wait outside of the courthouse. So I don't know when they're able to start going inside and waiting outside of
Exactly,
the judicial
exactly.
doors. So for that reason, I say that they shouldn't arrest her. But listen, make no mistake, she intentionally meant to send that person in a different direction than where she knew they were. Period. So for that, I think she was wrong. But for
That's
the
not
fact that
against the
they were
law. That's not against the law.
not that it's against the law, but she still did it intentionally to misdirect that person from those front doors and
And
what have you.
that's
And
against the
so
law.
it's well not if it's something on the not if it's not something on the book saying it's against the law.
If it was
But again,
intentional,
I thought
Rachelle.
that no, again, not if it's something on the books that says it's against the law, then it's not. I
Show me
agree with
one law
Jonathan.
where it says you have to walk out of the front door of the courtroom.
That
the,
is not the law that
That's
we're
not the
looking for.
law that
We
she
are
broke.
looking for
it's
the
called
law that
obstruction,
No,
and
with
like
in respect to obstruction though, but then again, I question how were they able to be outside inside of the court building, outside of her doors, because I thought there was a law that said they had to be literally be outside of the court
That's
building
how. Yeah, that's
itself.
Wisconsin's law. That's how Wisconsin has it set up in Milwaukee
That's
because of
true.
sanctuary
Is it outside of the federal
Milwaukee.
building or outside of the courtroom?
No,
outside of the
in the
The
courthouse.
public
building.
well
The,
no,
the,
they in the complaints, they kept saying that they were in a public hallway. So I'm guessing
So that
the
doesn't
hallways
count.
are considered public area.
Probably,
A
yeah.
public area.
So you might be in a federal building, but like if you're not inside the courtroom, it doesn't count, right? Because like think about it, the federal buildings have many things in them, right? So they could be in the hallway, which wouldn't count. So that they were outside. I think that's how she found out, right? They came and told her that they were out there. It wasn't like they
No,
were
they were
lying
in the
and waiting for
courtroom.
it.
They were in the courtroom.
Are they in the courtroom or
They were they
they
were
were in the
not in the
hallway?
courtroom. They were in the
the,
hallway,
they're in the
guys.
hallway.
They were in the hallway.
Hammett, go ahead, man.
Go ahead. I'm about to hit a dead spot, so my
so
service
the
is bad.
So
so
dumb.
the
You are really dumb. For real.
Hammett, just trust me, man. If ICE ever show up in here, you talking about if you want me to
Bro,
vouch for them,
I'm
I'm not.
American, just as American as you are. Don't worry about my
I
accent. I ain't
know,
trying to
no.
shift
Just
anymore.
guess what? I mean, I understand that. I understand that, but that doesn't seem to hold any weight any longer. If you have an accent, you're not safe. So, All right, it's crazy. So
You better
Hammond,
start learning to talk like Scott. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, exactly. You better grab yourself a Southern accent, trade that whatever you have for a Southern accent. So, with that being said,
That's right.
oh, he's here. You talked him up. You talked him up.
Oh, it's not you,
So,
Scott. It's just the accent.
yeah, guys, listen to me, man. So, anyway, yeah, guys, welcome to Debate the News, man. Man, we're just about an hour, 5 minutes in. Had a little late start tonight. Hopefully, guys, a wonderful, wonderful show that took place on the app today. Wanted to make sure that we did our part to make sure that we support it. But we're here speaking, guys, about the judge in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that was arrested today by the Trump DOJ and charged with two felony counts of obstruction. And also, guys, I definitely want to talk about Trump telling Ukraine that they got to give up Crimea. Man, we fought, man. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm sitting there listening to that. I'm like saying to myself, but we can get back to that. But I just that's something I want to talk about. Trump just telling Crimea. That's like someone telling like us, like, yo, you gotta give up DC. Or you gotta give up Miami. It's the port city. You gotta give up Miami. If you want that, if you want to keep your country, you gotta give up Florida. Come on, get the hell up out of here. So so that's what's going on here, guys. But getting back over here, guys. This judge, she I think she's a hero. I think she's a hero. And once again, she showed mercy. She showed that she had that she was, how should I put this? That she cared enough to do so, to act and to protect. I don't know, man. It's weird hearing people with accents defend this shit. I'm sorry, Hammond, and I know you're an American, but I know you have family members and everyone else. Guys, that's crazy. I'm cool. I'm cool. If I sit back like this right here, like, hey, deport everyone you want to deport. My family's do it. We're Americans, all of us. You know what I'm saying? We're Americans. I don't have family members from no whatever. We were all born here for the most part. So to me, I can sit back and like, all right, do whatever. What right is right, wrong is wrong. So if you guys, once again, when you hear Caleb, you know,
And and we respect Jonathan. That's why since we came to this country, worked hard to get our citizenship, we respect the law. That's why we don't.
Robbie, you brought your ass over here legally, and then got your shit once you got over here.
I
So
know,
all
but
that respect, all that respect, if you guys respect, you do it from over there, not here. I mean, it's crazy if that we can't. People come over across the border and overstay their visas, and then start the process once they're here, and then they start saying, "Oh, they need to do it the right way." Give me a
so
fucking
what are
break.
you
Jo-
saying, Jonathan? So it's okay to break the law? It's okay to cross the border
no,
illegally? It's
I
okay?
mean,
Like, is that what you're
you,
saying? I don't get it.
Ravi, you're the same person who supports a person with 34 felonies. Let's be
Eight,
honest here.
right,
That
right.
part.
Please bring that up.
80 million people supported Lewis, not just me. So that's why
But
he's
that's my
our
point. But
president.
listen,
He's your president.
you can't be pro law, pro justice, and then support a felon.
Well,
You see the
Louise,
contradiction there?
you're kind of supporting a felon that's not even legal in this country in the conversation with the
I'm
judge.
supporting a
Okay.
judge. I'm not supporting a felon. You see what
Hmm.
you just did there? You
Well,
created a
guess
straw
what,
man and
felon?
then went after the
She's
straw
a
man.
felon now.
She's not a felon. You're a felon when you're convicted.
Charged. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
don't think
right.
she's going to be convicted either. I think she's going to get off for sure.
No, she's not gonna get convicted. Yeah,
Ravi, don't let them start that stuff on you. You know how it goes.
Oh, I'm going to stand up today. And I know I got Diana on my back. Chad got my back. I'm not scared of Jonathan. Let's go, Jonathan.
Oh,
Deport my ass.
Jonathan, you
Dang,
got
dang,
folks scared
Ravi,
around
don't
here.
tell me you
Oh
afraid
That's
dear.
Jonathan's
a
gonna
fact,
deport you.
Ravi.
Robbie. Yeah, like I said, they were trying to deport your ass just last week, but that's fine. They had you at the border trying to find out about your citizenship. I mean, excuse me, they had not at the border. They had you, riding, minding your business. They pulled you over. They wanted to find out
Hey,
your immigration status and all this other shit. And then you
I'm
like,
still here, baby. My president got my back, so I'm not scared.
you're not scared. Oh, so and you're okay with that, right?
100%, Jonathan.
Okay.
That's
Jonathan
why
is
I
just
Listen.
walk
15
around with
minutes
my
from ended
passport
up
in
in
my
El
pocket.
Salvador.
Oh, now you walk around with your passport.
I have
Oh,
to.
now you walk around with your passport. Okay.
Hey, Jonathan, I don't walk around with my passport. I'm
I
just
don't walk
saying.
around mine either. Hell, Ravi, I go to Mexico without my goddamn passport, and I walk back in like a boss. Okay, I drive down to
I
Mexico
don't
without
think
my
that's
passport
happening, man. Come
and
on
walk the
now.
fuck back in
I'll,
like a boss.
hey, I'll pay
And
you
talk shit
$1,000 to
and
make
talk
sure.
shit
Let's
when they give me
go.
shit about it. And talk shit when they give me shit about it.
That ain't
Not
You
that ain't
live in
DeMarco,
happening
Mexico,
under
why?
this.
Jonathan.
Let me
You
see
live
your
in
ass try that. Let me see your ass try that.
Hey, I want to see your ass try that too, man. Not under president. You cannot walk without the
I,
papers, bro.
I
It doesn't
will.
matter if you're.
I will
How
100%.
many people go to?
Jonathan,
How
you
many
need
people?
papers? You
No,
need papers,
no,
Jonathan?
no.
Everybody
Hold one
does.
second. Hold up,
Try it.
Daphne. 1 second,
No,
Daphne.
no, no, no,
Daphne.
no.
Do I walk my ass back in this country without a passport? Yes or no?
I would think so, yeah.
What are you talking about? You were with me,
Did you
and you didn't have
fly?
your
Hold on. Did
passport.
you fly
You
or
didn't
did you
have your
drive?
passport. You didn't have your passport either.
Did you
Did they?
fly or
Did
drive?
wait? No. 1 second. 1 second. Daphne? Did they fuck with you because you didn't have your passport? You meet it up.
Daphne was your passport.
Nah, 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 nah. I several times. So, no, 100%. So, no, guys, at this point in time, yeah, I don't need a passport to get back in this country. You do, all right? You do, all right,
100% you do as well, Jonathan. Come on,
yeah,
man.
bro. That's
Don't
bullshit, bro.
don't spill BS on the stage. Like maybe Mexico, but if you go out of the country and if you're flying into the country, they need to look at your passport. Like,
Let me clear something up for you.
what's up?
I don't need a passport to get back into this country, ever,
From where?
Jonathan. Jonathan,
ever.
you don't
That's
need
One
BS.
sec,
passport to
one mic, guys. One mic.
Jonathan.
Ever, ever. Okay.
So
Now,
you
You,
go.
you went to Gulf of America. You don't need passport for Gulf of America.
guys, once again, I do not need a passport to get back in this country. Now they probably want to know how I got out of this country. All right. I don't need a passport to get back. I'm an American citizen. And that tells me that's just the way it is. All right. Now
I
you
got
need
breaking
pass.
news when you get a minute. I got breaking news when you get a sec.
Okay. So that you need a passport. Okay. You need a passport to travel to other countries. You don't need a passport to get into your home country. Okay.
Dude, no.
You once again, okay, because that's what you guys don't understand. You need a passport to get into other countries. All right. And what they do on this side to facilitate it is they check when you're leaving the airport. They usually want to make sure you have your passports so that you can get in to your origin or destination and your visas and all that other stuff. Okay, that's what they do. But you do not need a passport. People make mistakes and drive over to Canada, over the Windsor Bridge all the time. Okay, they make a mistake, and then when they turn around, if they get denied and they get to, because they weren't going, they're heading somewhere else. They get turned around. They get made to come back. They don't say, "Oh, you can't come back here because you don't have a passport." You guys better learn what the hell y'all talking about before you open your mouths.
So you didn't even enter the country. You turned around in the country.
No, no. Listen to me, guys. Even by air, guys. If I went down to Mexico and I caught a flight somewhere else,
You
okay.
cannot even hold on, Jonathan. You
One
cannot
second.
even board a flight, international flight, without a passport. They won't even give you the boarding pass, bro.
One second.
Cut the crap, man.
1 second, guys. You guys heard when I said that, right? You guys heard when I said that, correct? That that they check to make sure that you have the passports and the visas for your destination. Okay, so that now once again, I said if I once again went and drove down, I don't know, I drove to Mexico and then I drove continued down south through the Darien Gap and all that other shit. Okay, and then I was like, all right, I'm not gonna drive back, I'm gonna fly back, and I fly back and I come to the country, and I'm able to get an international flight. They're not going to deny me. Okay, I would probably go to the embassy or whatever. but I'm not going to get denied. What do you guys talk? I'm a U.S. citizen, folks. Listen to me, and that's the stupidity of it all. I'm a U.S. citizen. I cannot be denied re-entry into my country. I don't know.
I mean,
Eh,
I've had to miss flights over this, Jonathan. Real talk. Like I've forgotten my passport on the way back, and I was told, "No way, Jose, you either have to go to an embassy or you better go get your passport." And I had to get on a different flight. So I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. So what do you use to get back in?
you don't. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get it. Guys, listen to me.
Well, how are you going to prove it?
Let,
I guess is what you're saying.
one second, guys. You do not need a passport to enter the United States if you're a United States citizen.
Yes, you do, man. Yes, you do.
Well,
All right,
maybe
so
he'll
I've
give us the
flown.
tea. Well, how
Yeah,
do you
I've
do
flown
it then?
internationally. You know, I was a tour manager for years. I've flown internationally, and coming back home, the country that you're departing, you need that passport. And when you land, you got to get stamped back in. They say, "All right, welcome home." They stamp you back in.
True,
So I
true.
mean, I'm not gonna argue with what you're saying. If there is a way, I need to know it because I don't know of
Okay,
getting back home without a
okay,
passport, flying
uh,
internationally on a
okay.
flight.
Here's the deal. If once again, guys, I've left the country without passports.
What country did you go to?
Bro,
Give us the
one second.
details, man.
I've gone to Mexico without passports. Matter of fact, people do it all the time. I go to Mexico without passports. Okay. Now you're supposed to have a passport to enter to come back. Okay. When you right now, in order to go to Mexico and Canada, you're supposed to have a passport. All right. When you drive through Mexico down about past San Diego, when you drive in, they don't stop. They weren't stopping. I think they're probably gonna stop. They weren't stopping you. They wave you right in.
That's
You just
true.
go. You wave right. You go right through. I'm not speaking. I'm not making something up. This is real. This is real talk. All right. And then I can't. Then I'll come back. Okay. I'll hang down there for a day or two, and then I'll drive back. I'll sit in line. You know, and once I get there, they're like, "Hey, passport, whatever." I'll give them my driver's license. You know, I have a passport. No, I don't have my passport. You're supposed to have a passport. Yeah, I totally get that. What they do is they run my driver's license and everything else, and they're able to see that I'm an American citizen. Next time, have your passport. And I've done this probably about 4 or 5 times.
Jonathan, I graduated from Texas A&M. I partied almost every single weekend driving to Tijuana, and I had not one single passport.
That's what that.
How long ago was that, sir?
I'm 53. It was in
90s.
college. But the point is, I didn't have a passport.
Right.
Guys, you know what? I'm talking about a year ago. I'm talking about a year and a half ago. It's crazy. Okay, you know what? You guys are right. Okay, but when you guys want to bet money on it, okay, let's bet money, and then we'll see who's right.
Oh no, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to understand how, because I mean, it's such a pain to constantly be having to bring
My
in
cousin lives in
documentation and all
Texas and
that.
he travels to Mexico all the time and he literally goes with his driver's license.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
holding
So,
Mexico we
Diana ass.
can.
Yeah, with
Mexico we
places like
can.
Mexico and Canada, if you have especially the enhanced ID on your driver's license, then that's all that you need. You don't need a
No, that's
passport
not true. That's not true.
when dealing with
You're
land or
no,
sea.
no,
But the
no,
passport when you're flying, go ahead, Jonathan.
no, that's not true. Mexico and Canada, you're required to have a passport. Go look it up.
No,
Driver's license.
that's
You
not
could use an
true.
enhanced
You
driver's
can
license.
you have an enhanced driver's license. You don't need a
Uh,
passport.
that's okay. What's in the
Look
hands?
it up. I have an enhanced New York
Jonathan is right,
driver's
you guys.
license.
I know I'm right.
I
I know I'm right.
no
I know
no
I'm right.
I have a New York enhanced driver's license. I do not need my passport to go into Canada.
That's not true. You need a
It's
passport for Canada
look it
now.
up. Go Google it. Look it up. Look it
Yes,
That's
up.
the
they
one.
changed it. You need
She's
a
right. I'm same
passport
in
now. They're
Washington.
not.
Yeah, I don't
No,
say
you don't.
nothing. Yeah,
Nope.
they since nine after 9/11 they changed it.
I got to New York in 2021, and I have the new enhanced driver's license that will allow me into Canada.
Wait, Don
Detroit,
Juan,
not
Don,
for
wait,
real.
one second.
Detroit.
One second, Don Juan, because you were in the saying I was wrong. Now you're saying I'm right. Why are you saying that now, Don Juan? What made you change your mind?
Well, because I'm with the other guy. I was going to Tijuana too for spring break all my life and just use the ID, but I wasn't aware that I needed to fact check that what you were saying is correct, but you are 150,000% correct.
Driving, maybe it's a different story, man. I never drove to
No, it
Mexico,
doesn't matter. The
but
only way you don't need it for land is if you're under the age of 16 and you can use it's in this. You can Google it, bro. I just did it. It came right up.
Right, but
yeah, but
Don
if
Juan,
you're
you
flying
needed in
in,
the air, right? You still needed to ride the plane.
Yes.
Put it in the chat for
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah. I can't do the
Diana,
land
you need
crossing.
it because they holding your Spanish looking ass. You ain't going
Listen,
nowhere. Hold
Divine,
on there, partner.
I will self deport in 20 seconds, man. This is stressing me out. Honestly, I'm surprised. I really am shocked that some of you guys think it's not a bad thing what this judge did. I'm sorry. The fact that he had we read it, right? He had battery charges, domestic abuse charge. He just beat the shit out of somebody and hit him 30 times in March of this year for playing loud music. What the hell is going on, you guys? How can you say that she literally, you guys are pretending like we haven't seen those movies where like one person says, go this way, and then the police come and then they say, oh no, they went the other way. That's what they said she did. That's literally obstruction. I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. Nope.
What were the results of the poll, Jonathan?
I didn't see it. I didn't see a
That
poll.
she was wrong. It was 92%. The room believes she's wrong.
La única persona, the
what,
only
what's
person
the,
who
what's the
believes
number,
she's
Diana?
not wrong
Can
is
you
Jonathan.
say it again, please? What's the percentage? Can you say that one more time?
The percentage?
Yeah.
Oh, when I saw the poll, it was like 90%, 92% that the judge was wrong.
Yep. I just want everybody to hear it again. It's 90% that she was wrong.
All right, so I had some
Did you
breaking
guys
news.
look it up where it says enhanced driver's license can be used to travel by land or sea to Mexico and Canada?
That's not true.
It is. It's
Now,
abs-
now
That
y'all
It's
is
one
still
hundred.
fighting
no.
with
It's
They
one
Shakespeare.
hundred.
Jonathan's got it wrong,
no.
Jonathan.
They have and I have it in my passport here. This is what
Pull it
they
up right
have.
now. Pull it up right
It's
now
a
No,
on the internet.
no.
state
This is what they
government.
have. This is what you're wrong, chat.
It's
And I mean,
Rachelle.
It's
It's not Chat.
Rochelle,
Rachelle.
Rochelle. One second. This is what you're talking about. This is the passport. This is another passport card. This is what you're
I'm not
talking
talking
about.
about. Nope. I'm
Now
not talking
that
about. I know what a passport
Oh,
card
don't
is.
do
That's not
that.
what.
You don't
That's
want
not
to.
what I'm talking about.
Careful.
I'm talking
And
about
and
the
the passport
enhanced
card is
driver's
useless.
license. Enhanced driver's licenses, not the passport card.
no,
The
no.
enhanced driver's
You,
May I
license.
interject for a
Look
second?
it
It's
up. Look it up,
go,
Consuelo.
Jonathan.
Yeah,
like,
let's
go,
listen to Consuelo.
So, being a travel agent, I'm listening to everything. I'm working at the same time in travel right now. I'm like, okay, so what Rachelle is trying to talk about is certain states called the EDL is issued by certain United States who are close to the border. So, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Washington, where it's a proof, the EDLs are a proof of your identity and citizenship. Otherwise, you should have a passport. Canadian citizens need a passport to cross the border by air, and also US citizens need a passport to cross the border by air. By land is a little bit different, but passports are required for Canadian citizens to travel to the US. The only thing is there are certain like if you have a one of those Nexus fast cards when it comes to pre-approved, you pay for those things when it comes to processing through the border crossings. So between Canada and US, I'm not sure what you're really speaking about, if it's between Canada and US, and then someone spoke about Mexico. So I mean, for Canadian citizens, they need Mexico, they need passports to enter Mexico. So US states, maybe, do you guys have some kind of way, EDL or something for the driving who are close to the borders of Mexico and U.S. So those EDL that she's speaking about in certain states, not every state.
And I said that I have a New York driver's license that has enhanced um, EDL on it. That's
Yeah,
simply what
but
I said.
once again, you need a passport to go to Mexico and Canada. Okay,
If you're going
you
by land, or you talking about by plane or by land or sea?
you need a passport. If you're going, if you once again, you need a passport. In Mexico, they don't stop you at all. So Mexico, you just drive right in. Hell,
Again,
Daphne
with
was in the front seat asleep. Okay,
mhm.
Daphne, why the fuck you leaving when I say that? Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm glad you.
But you guys never know if it's already changed because of the Trump thing in January that maybe the Mexican border is looking at your U.S.
Well,
situation. So you better
can
have a passport.
Jonathan, so you do need the passport, right? That's what I keep saying from the get go. Like, I mean, you do need it,
no,
right?
but not driving because you have in Buffalo you have the
Well,
I think it's called the Peace Bridge. I don't think they stop you. You drive right over. You're in Canada, and Jonathan mentioned Windsor. You're in Detroit. I don't know if it changed. We used to drive. My brother lived in Detroit. We would
Hey,
drive. We
Jonathan.
would drive right into Canada from Detroit.
Hey, Jonathan.
So
This is James. I
go ahead,
live.
James.
I live in Michigan. Not only have I driven to Canada, I've also ran across the bridge for a marathon to Canada and back. Now, when you drive across, they do stop you. They do. You do have to show a passport. When you run the Detroit Marathon, before you pick up your bib, you have to show your passport. That way, they know that when they give you a bib, you're showing a passport. Otherwise, you're not getting that bib to run across, and they're checking your bibs to make sure you have it. So you do have to have a passport in Michigan.
Once again, I'm gonna tell you guys again. All right, and I wish we had some people in Texas right now because I'm not just making this shit up. But if you guys want to go ahead and say whatever, yeah, I'm not making this up.
when we say
Jonathan.
Canada
No,
has
no,
different
Hey, guys,
nobody
rules
said
here's
than
the
you're.
deal. Here's the
Mexico.
deal.
Nobody said
Here,
you're making it up, man. We just
one
wanted to
second,
know how. That's
one
all.
second. Daphne was in me. It's me, Lamar, and Daphne was in the front seat asleep. And matter of fact, we got pulled over because as soon as we went through all the lights, they saw the lights, saw her up front sleeping, and so they like, they pulled us over, and like, okay, this and that, and they didn't ask for a passport or anything. I guess they wanted to see if she was okay, and then they let us go. Period. All right, and we went into Mexico, hung out in Mexico. All right. And then, we came back across, not a problem at all. Matter of fact, she didn't want to go at first because she's like, I don't have my passport. I can't get back in. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We've done it plenty of times. We've done it plenty of times. All right. And so she was, I don't know, like, she got off camera or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Jonathan,
But
you don't want
one
to do it
second.
right
Well,
now.
wait. She got off camera. I don't know what the fuck she got off camera for. But yeah, she was there. She's like, oh, I don't want to. Like at first she's like, I don't want to go because. And so she fell asleep, and we were driving. We just rode across the border, boom. And when we went over, we never get stopped. But that night, because as soon as we went across, it's real bright lights. She lifted her head up, looking around like this right here, and then the guy just pulled us over real quick and asked us what we doing. Oh, we just coming to hang out. We're
Jonathan, when
coming.
was
Well,
this? How long ago was this?
I don't
Don't
know,
do that now.
about 2 years ago.
You can't
So
do that
there's a
right
Jon-
now.
Yeah, guys,
there's a
let me
Jonathan.
talk.
difference between Canada and Mexico. I mean, that's what it sounds like because those
Guys,
of
yeah,
us that
because
have gone,
yeah,
yeah.
Mexico don't. Mexico wasn't stopping people. Okay,
Jonathan, I'm in Southern California, and they did tell us that we needed a passport. Do you want me to read this thing real quick?
look. I don't care what you're reading. I'm not telling you what you're reading. Okay, once again, I'm telling you what happens. Guys, listen to me. You cannot. You're an American citizen. You cannot be denied re-entry into this country.
But
Once
you have to
again,
show proof. You have to show something that you're an American citizen. What would you? I mean, if you don't have anything to show, how would you come
well,
in?
once again, you're an American citizen. You cannot be denied entry into this country, re-entry into this country. So if you guys are disputing that, and that was the point I made all along. If you're an American citizen, you cannot be denied re-entry in this country. Daphne thought that. I never thought that. So Daphne, she showed her ID. I showed my ID. Lamar showed his, and we were right back in. And I've done it plenty of times. So hell, the first time I went, I didn't know I was going. So if you guys are looking at, if you guys think, oh, all it takes is for an American to leave without a passport and they can't get back in, guys, there are some countries up until recently that you didn't have to have an ID. I remember I used to go to Jamaica with just my driver's license. You do not need a passport to get back in this country.
Jonathan, I disagree. Seriously disagree.
Okay, you do not need a passport to get back in this country. Now, you guys can speak to any immigration attorney out there, and I don't know why we're spending so much time on it.
Okay, but I agree. I would love to keep seeing like if your brain has changed on this arrest. But before that, let me just tell Ravi something. Ravi, whatever you do, you better take your damn passport when you crossing, okay?
Especially
Yeah,
You
if you
he
go
better.
home.
100%.
everybody
I'm
here,
gonna take
all of us,
it.
everybody take that damn passport right
Gu-
now. Because
Guys, let me just say.
Mike Z put a link in the chat.
yeah, but
Okay,
Jonathan, not because you're right or wrong, because we could still debate that. I would love to move on, but if you want, we can debate it till the cows come home. But just because it really, any immigration attorney right now will tell you it is safer to just take your stuff
I'm not arguing that. I didn't
no, no,
argue
I
that.
know. I'm not saying that you are. Híjole, I'll pass it back to you. There you go. Back to you.
And it's credit. Can I jump in on that?
Yeah, go
Don't we
ahead.
have biometrics right now? They've been gathering all our shit through all the airports. Don't they have all that information? Even if we lost our ID, can't they just like zoom our eyeball and know that it's us? I mean, what?
Listen to me, folks. Listen to me. You don't lose. You don't lose your American citizenship if you lose your passport. You don't lose your American citizenship if you don't have a passport. I'm sorry. That's not what makes you an American citizen. So for
Jonathan,
you,
we're talking about traveling here. If you're
no,
flying by
no,
Yeah,
air,
no,
nobody's arguing
the
about
airline
that.
will
no,
not even
no,
board
no.
you.
What I said to you guys is that you don't need like you can't be denied. People lose their passports all the time. They got to get things. They got to get emergency stuff from the consulate office or whatever. Okay, they come back. Okay, you do not. Once again, you do not like I said. If I go to Mexico right now and come back over, they'll let me in this country. They'll let
Jonathan,
me in
not
this
when
country.
not when you are flying. The airline will not even board you
Yeah,
unless you show something.
in the very beginning, I said that. I said, as a courtesy to the country, the arriving country, we do things just like people do things for our country. Oh, you gotta have this. Do you have that? Do you have that? Oh, you don't have that. You can't get on the plane because they know that they got to turn you around, and bring you back. I said that, but and I said that very early on, and I think a lot of you guys forgot that. Okay, what I'm saying though is this right here, that if I was to land in the United States, if I somehow not get through that or whatever, if I once I touch this, they can't say you have to leave this country because you don't have a passport and come back when you have a passport. They can't and they won't do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right, but not right now. I don't want to take that chance right now. You know.
I mean, I could try it, and then if I get detained, you're the first one I'm going to call. We could do that. I'm willing.
All right, guys.
I mean, for real.
I wish we had someone that lived near the border right now. Someone
Edna,
that
call Edna. Have Edna try.
guys, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you, you don't need it. I mean, you're supposed to have it, guys. People drive over to Mexico all the time. Do you know that there are Americans that work in Mexico right now that get up and drive to Mexico every day, just like there are Mexicans that work over here? Do you guys know that? Do you guys not know that they sometimes forget their freaking passport? Guys, I'm gonna tell you.
People even walk actually cross the border. I
Again,
saw that.
exactly. Let me just say this to you guys, okay? I remember because one time I got so upset with a border guard because she tried to chastise me. Okay, she's like, "Where's your passport?" I said, "I don't have it," and she goes, "Why don't you have it?" I said, "I don't have it." She goes, "You're supposed to have it when you're traveling internationally." I said, "I understand that, ma'am." And then she kept giving me a hard time. And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And then she said, I was like, "Yes." And then she like, "Stop calling me ma'am." And I got so upset because I knew she couldn't keep me out of the country because I'm an American citizen. The only thing that calmed me down was I didn't want to get sent to secondary. Okay. I didn't feel like going through secondary. So I pulled it together. Okay, I try to put a smile on my face. Okay, and just said, look, I know, I'm sorry. Next time I'll have it. Okay, and she waved me through. There you guys go. I'm being honest with you, and I can't say anything else. I mean, you guys think that listen to me. You guys don't know your rights. You guys don't know anything. You cannot be denied re-entry in this country if you're a citizen. That's it. That's all I'm saying. You cannot be denied re-entry into this country if you're a citizen.
DTN
I
need
mean,
to
you're
send somebody to
100%
border.
right. And if anyone unmics respectfully to disagree with you on this topic, you're going to the goo. Back to you, Jonathan.
No, no, go ahead, guys.
Just
Let's do a
kidding.
reset. Let's do a reset, guys, because I want to find go get this because it's like it's crazy as hell. You cannot be denied re-entry if you're a
But
citizen.
Jonathan, that's a good one. Like the whole your rights thing. Like you know how many videos I see that go viral with people trying to teach other people their rights? I mean, look, if you're right, I want to know. I
Yeah.
don't care who's right.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna turn this thing over. Chat, are you there, chat? So
I
go
had a
ahead,
quick
Diana.
breaking. I had a quick breaking news.
Let's do it.
George Santos sentenced to 7 years here in New York. If you guys aren't familiar, this guy took the GOP for a hell of a ride. Said his parents were in the Holocaust or his grandparents were in the Holocaust. Just lie after lie. He lied about his education. He lied about every damn thing. He left the Senate at some point, and they got him on all types of charges. So sentenced to 7 years today, guys. George Santos. See you
Okay.
later.
All right, guys. This is crazy. I just did a quick Google search and I put, can an American be denied entry to the U.S.? No. U.S. citizens cannot be denied entry to the U.S. They have the right to enter the country and demonstrate their citizenship. While they may be detained for further questioning or inspection, they cannot be refused entry based on refusing to answer questions provided or provide passwords. Example. Okay. So once again, right of entry. U.S. citizens has a constitutional right to enter the United States. And I'm sitting here saying, damn, they obviously they must have Googled this and they're not seeing it. I did a quick search and it comes right up. Demonstrating citizenship. Citizens must be able to demonstrate their citizenship to the satisfaction of immigration officers. What are we talking about? No one looked this up, obviously. All right, all right, yeah, George Santos, guys. Yeah, he's sentenced over 7 years in prison. I think 87 months, over 7 years in prison. That's crazy. Yeah, guys. So did no one look? No one took the time and looked that up.
Jonathan, I was trying to say it over and over again, but
What was that? Yeah, Ch. Go ahead. Ch. Go ahead. What were you
I
saying?
said, Jonathan, I kept trying to say it over and over again, but you had people embedded and just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, guys, and once again, people at home, I'm so sorry that we sometimes go into these little things where people we go back and forth, and that once again that's debate the news, and sometimes we start debating the views, you know, and so this is
Oh,
one of
you
the
are easily top 10 of my favorite social media personalities, podcast people, period. The fact that you came back and were so determined, listen, that's why we all love you. But I'm telling you, like, for me on that one, I just want to know the how to's. But
Yeah, Diana, you
the
just got to prove to them that you're in a citizen. There's more than one way to prove that you're a citizen if you happen to forget your passport. All right,
No,
and
but
so they're
there's
not going to
there's
deny you.
something that comes out of a department. I forgot the name of it. It starts with an I, an inter something. I forgot the name of it. You've talked about it in your real estate syndicate group, Jonathan. I forgot what it was, but like a department that makes it so that you don't have to pay certain taxes. There's so much to Jonathan's point to our rights that it is really, really interesting. But again, it goes back for me on the title. with this situation with undocumented immigrants who the current administration is dedicated to assisting and going back to their country of origin. So to me, what happened with this judge is a bigger deal. Like I don't know. I'm going to have to go travel the space of freaking social audio to go hear who else is talking about it, because I thought we were all going to like stay on the same page on this one, you guys. The guy's got crimes. He's beaten his freaking I mean, am I the only one that feels this way?
No,
You're not the only one. I'm here with you. I'm right here with you.
See, thank you, Caleb. I
I
mean,
second you, Diana.
yeah, I'm surprised. I think, and like pretending like she didn't do anything wrong, and then going into, well, did she really obstruct? Yes. If she told the FBI officers to go in one direction when she knew and could even have facilitated the exit of who they were looking for, I think that's wrong. And the whole room polled that way. We polled at 90%, but nobody talks about it. I'm surprised. This is a win for Trump from what I can tell. This is not a doomsday there. That's how it was presented. That the Trump
Diana,
admin-
how is that a win for Trump? A judge, did something wrong. How is it a win for Trump? I
because
mean,
it shows the extent that he's willing to go to deliver on what it was that he was voted to do. It's that simple to me.
Trump
This
doesn't
has
have to
nothing to
be.
do with
It
Donald
has
Trump.
nothing to do
What are
with
you talking
Trump.
about, Diana?
Any president in there, this judge will still be in trouble. It has nothing to do with Trump whatsoever.
I
Okay,
mean, the whole country already
the
spoken. We don't want no
yeah,
faggot ass shit no
what
more.
do you
I want
mean that this has nothing to do with Trump? It has everything to. The title literally says by DOJ, by Trump DOJ. It has everything to do with him. In fact, we opened up the show saying, why is it that we are seeing more of the enforcement of certain things? It literally is because we have an administration that's enforcing it.
And you think if any administration is there that is not Trump, they will condone this? Of course not. So to me, it has nothing to do with Trump at all.
I don't think that if we were under a
But
different administration, you would have the FBI there to pick up someone who they've been able to trace was in court for, I believe, the third offense for beating somebody 30 times in Milwaukee for playing loud music. So no, if we were under, let's just, I don't know,
no.
say,
This was a Diana. They were misdemeanors. Okay, and once
Jonathan, if
again,
I hit you 30 times, what are you gonna do?
no. Diana, as a misdemeanor, obviously there was something else going on. All right, something going. No, they were fight. They were fight. They were fighting. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this judge should be go to jail. I think because what she does, you can forgive her like that, And if they don't put her on jail, that will be repeating and repeating. They need to give an example. Caleb, she ain't going to no jail anywhere, okay? You're just dreaming, all right? They need to give an example because that will keep repeating. If people doing shit and nobody say nothing, we will have those stuff over and over again. She should go to
Caleb.
jail and need to be
It's not a
corrected.
jailable offense. Like Jonathan said, there are no rules that says what door to send them out of. So she's not going to go to jail.
Take that. Take that. Take that. So, yeah, guys. Once again, guys. Hey, guys. If you guys are listening to us at home, hey, guys, make sure you guys download the Chatter Social app. You can download that either on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Once again, the Chatter Social app can be downloaded on either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Also, if you are once again, you are able. If you're here in our studio audience, up top we have the podcast for Debate the News. If you guys have not yet followed the podcast, make sure you guys follow that podcast and also make sure that you download a few episodes. So with that, we're gonna jump right back into it, guys. Um, here's the deal. That judge, getting back to the judge, I think just right now, Donald Trump arresting a judge, having the DOJ arrest a judge. Guys, you got to realize something. All right, this is all happening under conservative rule. All right, this is all happening under conservative rule. Now, when this stuff start happening under liberal rule, please um, just don't complain. That's why you never champion this. You never champion it for anyone. You don't want this to happen on the conservative side or the liberal side. There are supposed to be certain untouchables, but you guys are cheering for this. You guys think like, yeah, we're winning. No, you're not winning. You're certainly losing. You're losing all the way around. All right, I'm losing. Anytime something like this, all of us loses. The only person that wins is the people in power. So here's the deal, guys. Trump expands the executive branch. All right. And every administration expands it just a little bit more, tries to expand their powers just a little bit more. They do. Okay. Not like this right here. Trump has expanded it to a point like of no return. You guys are saying, oh, wow, the libs are losing. No, you're losing. Because everything they take from you. Okay? Us, the people. We the people. That's who loses. So then when the libs get in and they expand their power, guess what? And they take some stuff again, some more. Guess what? We lose again. So all of this stuff, but then no one's doing this mess. The liberties and the rights and all that other stuff. No, this is the closest to authoritarian as I've ever seen us get. Arresting judges, defunding colleges and educational institutions, getting rid of the Department of Education, dismissing the Justice Department. I mean, not the Justice. I mean, the judicial branch. Uh, pretty much. This is as closest to authoritarian as I've ever seen. Us telling another country that in order to have peace, they got to give back the land that was taken from them by the aggressor and the invader. Us telling other countries, Greenland, Canada, that we want them and we're going to take them by force if necessary or economic force. By us saying that we're going to take the Panama Canal by force if necessary. Those are not American values. They aren't. And I've seen a lot of people cheer that stuff on. So I just want to make sure that you guys be mindful of this, and keep this, like on the forefront of your mind when this America, when you guys finally wake up one day and you realize that this America doesn't look like the America that you signed up for and that you grew up in. I just want to put that out there. Yeah. So,
I mean,
but,
did you think we were gonna cry tears at that little speech of yours?
no,
Or what?
actually, if
You
it's
think we
if that
gonna
was
be
that
all
profound to
pissy
you, if
and
if it's that profound to you, then it takes very little to impress you, because what I
Man,
was saying is just
miss
regular.
me with that garbage,
Yep.
okay? Miss me
Mhm.
with that bullshit. The same American CIA that literally orchestrated the chaos that happened in Libya, right? And that was orchestrated by Democrats, by the way. Hillary Clinton, that's your girl. You understand? But guess what? It's still America, right? I don't see that as something that makes us that makes us look smaller in a global line. Matter of fact, I think it makes us look stronger. You understand what I'm saying? I support my country regardless of whatever decisions are made by the higher ups, especially when it comes to the international view. That's the difference between a Republican like me and a Democrat like you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Big, big difference. Okay. These plays with Greenland, okay, with the Panama Canal, with the Gulf of America, it's not Mexico, Gulf of America, right, are power plays that continue to push American ideology at the forefront. Do you understand what I'm saying? That continue to showcase to the world, right, the power that is the United States of America. Do you understand? And I stand for that all goddamn day. Okay? If you have a problem with it, Mr. Jonathan, I encourage you to try to take one of those day trips down to Mexico today in this climate with the way ice is. Try to take one of those trips down to Mexico today and leave your passport in America. Let's see what happens to you. You understand what I'm
Amen.
saying? let's see how
Amen.
long.
Amen.
Let's see how long it takes you to get back in, right? And then
Amen.
once
Amen.
you get to the border, matter of fact, stay your ass in Mexico. Give one of those poor little boys in the street looking for a hand up. Give one of them your passport. Let them come back to America, okay? Because you don't belong
Amen.
here if that is how you see our country, regardless of whatever leader is leading our goddamn country. How about that for a diatribe? Let's
Yeah,
go.
one second. And first of all, I haven't said anything negative about my country. Okay, and so next, yeah, I will take a day trip. I can take a day trip, Nelson. I have no problem getting back in this country. All right, I have a constitutional requirement to be let back in this country. Okay, so that's the part that you guys don't understand. All right, I'll do it all day long, and I have nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. All right. So that and because I know what I can do, and that's why I'm different. I know what I can do. All right.
But
I'm aware. I'm aware of what I can do. I'm not asleep.
you do
Okay.
understand you
No
do
no no
understand they're gonna hold you in a holding cell, right?
no they won't.
Until they verify your identity. You know why?
No they. You know what? No,
Because you look like a long
no.
lost African.
One second,
I'm
bro.
just saying. I'm just saying.
One second. Because I've done this many times. I've done this many times. All right, many times. Okay, me and my buddies.
Okay,
All right,
John. So,
and then
so
one second,
call me.
one second, because
No,
you're
but
saying
when you pick up the phone from that jail cell,
no, there's
hey,
not a
call
jail
me.
cell.
Hey Nelson,
There's not a jail
I need
cell.
you to bail me out from ICE detention. They think I'm from Zimbabwe.
No, not. I won't even reach a jail cell, Nelson. I won't. Okay, because what they do is they run my driver's license. My driver's license,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
my driver's license is a real ID. Okay, and they know where I'm from. They know where I'm born. All right, they know. Okay, they know who are citizens. They can tie me my birth to my birth records. They're able to pull my birth records up at the border and pass me right through. See, I don't know what you guys think. All right, so yeah, I don't know what you guys thinking. Yeah, you guys tend to believe. Hell, ask Daphne. They did her as well. Okay, I handed all three IDs. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Me, Daphne, and Lamar. Here's your ID. All right, and we were able to get back in the country.
And
No problem.
Daphne is the only reason you
No,
goddamn
no, no, that's not
Zimbabwe made it
that's not
back to the
true. That's not
U.S.
true. That's not true because that's not true because I've gone down there plenty of times. You can say things that's funny, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, Nelson. What you're doing here, and if you want, let me call it out. Is there's real information that's being put out here, and you're giving people an opportunity not to be educated. Okay, because yeah, you're giving people an opportunity not to be educated, and I get it. I get it. Coming from Nigeria and all that other shit, yeah, whatever. It seems a bit strange, but this is real information. Information that obviously people didn't know. All right. So let's go.
Hey, Jonathan, I got one more question before I leave my mic.
Yeah, let's do it.
How's the water in Zimbabwe? Because you might be tasting that shit next time you come to the border with no passport.
Yeah. I have the privilege of being born here. I have the privilege and the honor of being born here. Now, Ravi, he's the one that needs his passport. Nelson, I've never been asked for my passport. Ever. Ever. When I've been pulled over. Okay. And I've driven all over this country.
20 miles
Okay.
from
Yeah,
the
that's because
No,
they
no,
ask for your
no, no.
driver's license,
Yeah,
not your
bro.
passport, silly.
Huh?
That's because they should ask for your driver's license, not your passport when you're pulled over in our country.
Exactly. They pulled Ravi over and asked for his passport.
storm. It was 33 miles away from the
I,
border, man. We're not going to do this again. It's Friday.
one,
Let's move on
one
from
second.
this.
One second. I was in San Diego, riding around in San Diego, and I never ever. I've never been asked for my driver's. I mean, asked for anything other than my driver's license in San Diego. Sucks to be you, Ravi. So with that being said,
Hey, I'm
yeah,
proud to be an American, man. I'm here. I'm happy.
okay. I'm an American too. They don't ask me for my passport in America.
And Ravi, thank you for not, advocating going to Mexico and telling, anybody like, because Jonathan's educating us on how he can walk back from Mexico to the U.S. border without a passport. And there's somebody in here that's going to believe that, and they're going to go down there and they're going to try it, and they're going to get detained, and they're going to say, Jonathan, yeah, I heard in your room I could do this, and I can't. I'm calling you because you're my one phone call in the Mexican prison. Can you come get me out, please?
Yeah,
No, we
no,
gave
yeah,
disclosure. We
you
gave the
wouldn't be.
disclosure.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in a Mexican prison. Okay, first of all right, you wouldn't be in an a Mexican prison. All right, so you're at immigration. You've crossed over into the U.S. All right, so first of all, there would be no reason for you to be in a Mexican prison. So when you have more than half a brain cell, you think this shit through. Okay, logically. So with that being said, all right. What I want people to know here is, as I read to you before, you guys actually have a constitutional right you cannot be denied. And what I'm telling you guys is, if you're an American citizen, not anything else, if you're an American citizen, you cannot be denied entry into this country. Period. That's real. Now, someone will be able to use that one day. Okay, someone here will be able to use that one day. Now, if you guys don't believe me, y'all got y'all Chat GPT, y'all got y'all whatever the hell y'all got. Y'all can look it up yourselves. I don't give a fuck if I made it to France and then I found a way to get back here. I cannot be denied entry to this country because I'm an American citizen, and that's real. All right. So, and guess what? If you guys didn't know that, now you know. But if you
Why are you
don't know that,
dying
if
on
you,
this hill, Jonathan?
I'm
Why
not
don't you
dying on
just
this
secure your
hill.
damn passport and be done with it?
What are you talking about, bro? I'm not dying on this hill.
Dude, I was in here 20 minutes ago and you're flipping out about it.
Actually,
And now
actually,
20 minutes
uh,
later, you're flipping out about
no,
it, telling
actually,
people, I'm an
actually,
American
one
citizen.
second.
I can go to an embassy. I
Actually,
can
I
walk
moved on.
right across the
Actually, I
border.
moved on
I
to
can
it.
get over here. You guys should.
Yeah.
Consuelo's going to do it. And watch what
Actually,
happens to Consuelo. She said in the chat she's ready to roll.
yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Actually, what I did, I left this alone. Nelson brought it back up, and once again, when I'm right about something, I'm not gonna let someone come in and put misinformation out. And a fucking simple Google search would have proved me to be right. Period. Okay. So if all you have to do is do a quick search on Google and find out that I'm right, and you guys are telling people that I'm wrong, and guess what? I don't give a fuck about you guys saying I'm wrong. I just don't want the average person to feel that I'm wrong. Okay. And if they ever find themselves without a fucking passport, and that they believe that they're fucked and that they're not able to get back in this country, that's the only thing I'm trying to speak up for. Okay, to make sure that people get the proper information. So it's not a fucking hill I'm dying on. I'm educating some dumb motherfuckers in here that wants to laugh about some bullshit. That's all I'm doing. I land.
Yo, I'm telling you, like, where did you draw the inspiration?
I
Y'all got
mean,
him like
Diana,
up
he
to
is
my
going
stomach.
Yeah.
hard in the
So
paint,
so
dude.
anyway, with that being said, we can move on because I left that behind. Nelson wanted to bring that back up. Okay, and he wanted to laugh because I don't want people to think that it's fake information. All right, I gave you guys real 100% information. That's all I want. All right. And if you guys don't believe me, go look it up. All right. And if anyone wants to bet me $1,000 on it, I'll bet each and every one of you guys $1,000 on it right now. I can use it.
Bro, I swear if I get detained, I'm gonna be so mad at you
Yeah.
that you're
Once
not
again,
gonna let me out.
one second. One second. Kirk. Kirk? You really want to take that bet? Kirk, do you really want to take that bet?
Are
And
we
you guys
allowed to
gotta
bet on
send
stage?
Robbie.
No. I want no. Kirk, do you really want to take
I
that
don't
bet?
think Kirk's on stage, dude. He's
No.
just in the
Yeah.
chat.
Is it
Okay.
real?
Whatever. I want someone to, like I said, if someone wants to take the bet, let's take the bet.
Hey, Jonathan, I just want to ask you one question, and
Yes,
this is
sir.
a serious question. It is absolutely your constitutional right. You're not going to be denied access. Has the government ever denied access and actually broken the Constitution, do you think?
All right. Yeah. You know what? You're
Yeah, I'm
right.
just saying, I don't want to flirt with the law, even though it might be my constitutional right. We all know that law enforcement and the government have violated constitutional rights of American citizens. So why even take the chance? I'm just asking.
Wow. I wasn't advising anyone to take a chance. All I was saying is,
He just dared people to go do it.
No, I what I said to you, Storm, was you cannot be denied. I was actually giving information.
The
Period.
law is correct. Now, law and practice are two different things. We all know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So let's talk about Trump. I want to see some Trump derangement syndrome. Jonathan, let's go.
Absolutely. We can do that real fast, guys. I'm doing a quick reset, guys. Hey, first of all, if you guys are listening to this podcast at home, download the Chatter Social app. The Chatter Social app can be downloaded either at the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Guys, guess what? It's free of charge, okay? The Chatter Social app can be downloaded at either at the Google Play Store or Apple App Store, and it is 100% free of charge. This is where we have these conversations nightly, guys. So you guys are joining us there. So with that being said, with that being said, guys, yeah. With that being said, what I want you guys to do is download some episodes. Now, what I'm going to do right now, folks, is I'm going to do a hard reset. All right. What does a hard reset is? Oh, if you guys are over on CH, that means that you guys are going to find yourself out in a hallway for about 5 seconds. All right. Once again, you guys are going to find yourselves out in the hallway for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to bring you back in. Yeah, I don't need anyone on camera right now either. Right now, so what we're going to do is we're gonna do a quick reset. Like I said, you guys gonna find yourselves back in the hallway like for 5 seconds or so. But don't let that worry you, folks. You're able to come back in and actually partake in the conversation. But before you go, guys, up there on that, there's a link up there. Hit that link. Make sure you hit that link and subscribe to the podcast. We definitely want to see you guys subscribe to the podcast. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys out in the hallway, and you guys will be able to come back, like I said, within 5 seconds or so. So we're gonna handle that now. Chatter, once again, while they're in the hallway, I want you guys to actually follow the podcast. If you use that and follow the podcast, and